Hello, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode number 223 for July the 11th, 2023. And I hope everybody's enjoying the summer weather. Yes, I know across Canada and the United States, there's a lot of heat happening. But you want to know something? I love it. I love it, especially here in Canada. We only get a few weeks of this kind of weather. Everybody bitches about it, everybody complains. But enjoy it while we've got it, because before we know it, the cold weather will be here again and we'll be bitching all over again, won't we? Anyways, let's talk about other things. Let's talk about what I've been working on. You have seen this in various stages. It is now absolutely completed. It's all bound, it is quilted, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. Now, if you look at the corners, those corners for the borders were supposed to be, according to the pattern, mitered, and I gave it a fair shake. I have trouble with mitered borders. I have done them before, but it involves a lot of cursing and swearing. And I have yet to find the ultimate YouTube tutorial showing you how to do mitered borders. Now, before you go saying, oh, there's tons. Yes, there are tons. But what I find in the ones that I've come across is they take a little tiny piece, a little 12-inch sandwich, and show you how to do a mitered border on that. Well, if you're doing something that size, it's easy. Because for those of you that maybe never have attempted mitered borders, you're supposed to take your quilt and fold it diagonally from top left corner to bottom right corner. And then you have this extra strips of fabric that you have to line up. And then you have to figure out where to put your needle down to sew across that at a 45-degree angle, and then open it up and you'll have a perfect mitered border. Yeah, not easy on a large piece. And I swear, purposely, those people who put up those videos showing it on a little tiny 12-inch sample or less know that it's difficult to do it when you do it on a full-size quilt. But like a lot of videos on YouTube from quilters, the experts, they don't show you the problems. They only show you 1, 2, 3, it's perfect every time. And that's not true. And definitely not why I started Idiot Quilter. So if anybody happens to know of a YouTube video where they're actually showing you clearly how to do it on a full-size quilt, send me the link, because I would love to check it out. So I decided, since this is not really meant to be a quilt, but more or less a decoration at Christmas time, at Halloween time, get my seasons right, I decided life's too precious, my time's too precious to screw around with this for mitered borders. So I didn't do mitered borders. Now, I threw it on Lucy, and I quilted it. And let me see if I can just blow this up a little bit for you. Okay, there's my quilting. It is a spider web with a spider in it. If you look closely, I'm trying to find a spider you might be able to see. Well, in here somewhere. But anyways, it's very dense, this quilting pattern, okay? I let it do its default, and then I shrunk it a little bit. I made it a little smaller, and that was my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. It took, now this is a computerized design, so that I let QuiltPath do its thing. This took 14 hours to quilt, and this is not a huge quilt, okay? It's just that it is such a dense pattern. I went through probably 10 or 12 bobbins as well with this. It quilted out fine, but it's just very, very dense. Now, having said that, though, I kind of like the fact that it's dense. It's a little stiff. I have washed it. It softened it a little bit, but not by that much. So as a bed quilt, no. But as a wall hanging, yes. And as a wall hanging, you want it to be kind of on the stiff side, or at least I do. So I am not disappointed with this. And this was a gift from Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches. She gave this to me when we were at the Canadian Quilt Show. because she knows I kind of like doing Halloween projects. And yeah, I mean, I like how it turned out. It's fun. It's got gnomes. That's why she gave it to me. It has gnomes. And yeah. So, anyways, I call this one a success. Okay. Now, I'm making a bunch of these up. They're little mug rugs with a gnome, of course, and they say Idiot Quilter on them. This is an in the hoop design, and I've been refining it since I've made these two a little bit. But they're applique, done in the hoop, and I think they're cute little guys. I think he's called Gnorman. Probably not supposed to say the G, but they're doing that with the Gnorm, something like that. Whatever. I just thought he was fun and cute, and I am making these to give away to some people I will be seeing in December. So yeah. And what else? Okay. Today it's all about gnomes. But then what day isn't it? A day without gnome is a day without sunshine. Yeah. And this is the Tome. Now, I'm being told I'm saying that wrong. Sue me. Tomte. For those of you that are purists about Swedish language, because I do believe it's Swedish, it's Norwegian, it's something like that, it's Scandinavian. I'm calling it a Tomte. And excuse my accent. And that is what it is. All right. So it is made up of a lot of squares. A lot of squares. This is 2/3 of the way done. There's still about 10 more rows to finish off his body. The cutting, well, just the white background squares, there's 348 in this, 2.5 inches unfinished. And then there's a whole bunch of half square triangles with the other colors and the background colors and that to make his, hat and his face and all that kind of stuff, and his beard, his body. So I don't know how many more there is in that, but I'd say in total I cut probably 600 2.5-inch squares, and I was never so thankful for my AccuQuilt as I am with this pattern. Sewing it together is actually very easy. The only trick is it's easy enough you sew it row by row, of course. It's easy enough to get some of the pieces out of alignment because, they're in a certain order in order to get this pattern. However, in the pattern itself, which I will be talking about a little later today, or a little bit later in this episode, there is a diagram with it all laid out for you. You just have to follow the diagram. Have I screwed up a couple of times? Yes, I have, but it wasn't too hard to fix. So away we go with this. I'm enjoying doing it. I wasn't enjoying the cutting, particularly even with the AccuQuilt, but I'm enjoying putting the rows together. And it's actually coming out to be not too bad a size, but I think I'm probably going to add a couple of borders, an inner border and an outer border to it as well. And I'm even thinking of doing a little bit of embroidery, like for his the little ball on the end of his hat there. I might put in make a freestanding lace snowflake and put that in the center, and maybe a few others in and around. I'll applique them on. I think I'll applique them on after I quilt it. I have a pattern in mind for this. Something with swirls and snowflakes I think would look really good on this. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. But I'm going to say more about the pattern and the pattern designer. This was the link to this was sent to me by one of my subscribers, by Scott in Scotland. That is Scott. Yeah, I'm sure it's Scott. Professor Scott. I hope I have his name right. Or is it Derek Scott? Okay, I am sorry. I'm screwing up on his name. And he's a regular, and I'm sorry about that. But anyways, yeah. So I'll say more about the pattern a little bit later on. Okay, so that takes me to what's coming up. And what is coming up? Well, there is a lot coming up. And just a warning here, this is probably going to be a fairly lengthy episode because I have some other videos I want to show you that are kind of long. So Please bear with me. Some parts you may want to just fast forward through. Anyways, what's coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, as on every Wednesday, Sewing with Stephanie and Steven, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. All are welcome. Link is in the show notes below. Then, special event. It's my birthday this coming weekend. Actually, my birthday's on Friday. Guess how I'm celebrating? I'm going to the dentist for a cleaning. And I have another problem I need to talk to them about. Yeah, that's a great way to start off my birthday. However, the next day, July the 15th, we're having what I'm calling Steven's Birthday Bash Pop-Up Sew Day. And all are welcome to that. It starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, but you don't have to be there at 8 a.m. You can come and go any time of the day yet you feel like it. So it's going to be fun. That's how I'm celebrating my birthday with that. And just as an aside, the 15th is also an important date because that is Walter's and my wedding anniversary. July the 15th, 18 years ago, we legalized our relationship. Yes, although that's not what we really consider to be our anniversary. Our anniversary is actually December the 21st. It's the anniversary of when we first got together. And that was 40 years ago, come this December 21st. But this one, the 15th, is our wedding anniversary. So it's a double whammy on Saturday. But I hope you'll join us. Those of you that are on the mailing list, you've already received your email with the link in it. But for the rest of you, the link is in the show notes below. And it's open to anybody to do whatever you want. Okay? So feel free. I hope to see you there. Okay, so what's next? Okay, I did get the Sewers Club box. It was a little bit delayed, and I'll say more about that in a moment, but let's take a look at what we got this month, shall we? So here is the box. Spoiler alert, I've already opened it and looked at what's inside, although I haven't taken them physically out of the box, but for you, it is a reveal. Now, I changed my subscription to from the Fat Quarters a month or two ago to the half-meter cuts. So there are 2, 4, 6, 7 half-meter cuts in this box. The price is, with shipping in Canadian dollars, about $66. They do charge you shipping for the box as well. And they include a card telling you what each of the fabrics are. So let's take a look. They usually curate it so that the colors sort of run together. So you can see the predominant colors here are red and green, and we've got a little piece of Christmas in here as well. So obviously they are operating on a Christmas in June. This was the June box. So let's take a look at each one of these. Okay, this one's an old favorite of mine. It's called Bliss. I think it's by Northcott. I have had a lot of this in various colorways over the last little while. And I'll say over the last little while, over the last couple of years, because this is not a new fabric. Bliss has been around. It's still available. Anybody can get their hands on Bliss. So for that reason, on my little rating scale of 1 to 5 for each one of these fabrics, I'm going to give this a 2. Because I already have a lot of it. It is not a new fabric. It's a great fabric. I might even go to 3 with it because I do like the fabric, but old stock. Now they're old blasts from the past, and this, I don't know how far back this goes. I've had this in my stash for literally years. It is a batik. It's nice. But it's an old chestnut. Again, old stock. It gets a 2 for being old stock. Oh, hum. Oh, look, it's green. It's a solid. Can you have too many solids? Yes, you can. At least I can. So, yeah. Okay, yep. If it's going for a Christmas theme, yeah, okay. Not impressed. 2. All right. This one's, they're passing off as sort of a Christmassy fabric. Yeah, I suppose so. But it could be used in other things too. Green and red. Wow. Um, Again, I feel this is old stock. I've seen this before, many times before. If you want something to throw into your stash that, you're working on a Christmas quilt, you need something like I don't want to call it a blender, but, something else that'll work with your Christmas quilt that isn't, a definite print. Yeah, that would work. Old stock, though, too. Now, I love this line. Everybody does. It's Canvas by Northcott. It's a staple in the quilting world. It's great blender. You can always use it for things. But come on, it's readily available. You know, I don't know, maybe I've got the wrong impression of what these boxes should be, but I thought they might be, newer fabrics, sort of a sampler box kind of thing, not what you got a lot of and you want to get rid of kind of thing. At least that's what it's yelling at me right now. And I do have lots of this. Two. Okay. You've seen this. This isn't new. This is your standard Christmas fabric. Is it ugly? Yes. It's a little ugly. Um, I don't know. Some people might think it's cute. It would look fine if you're making a Christmas tote bag, making a stocking for a kid, maybe even making a small, you know, little Christmassy quilt for a child or whatever. It's not what I consider serious fabric. And when I say serious, okay, I'm a bit snottish, but I kind of like elegant. This isn't elegant. I guess the best I can say for this, it's fun. But I also look at it from the point of view is if I'm going in my quilt store and I'm looking for Christmas fabrics and I'm looking at other bolts and I see this, would I buy it? Probably not. Too cutesy for me. It's a two. Oh, and this. Now, I can't remember whether I said I didn't want florals or whether I relented and said, yeah, sure, send me florals just to see more of a variety. So, I'm not going to fault them one way or the other. If in case I did, you know, I can't remember, said, yeah, send me florals. This isn't butt ugly, but yeah, you can use it in Christmas. It's sort of a Christmassy flower. It's got your red, it's got your green. Uh, Again, if I was walking down the aisles of a quilt store and saw this, would I immediately leap to it? No, no, it's a two. Okay, so, just putting them back in the little box here. Am I disappointed? Yeah. Out of all the boxes I have received to date, and I've been doing this for about 6 months, 7 months, that's the worst box. Now, let me tell you why. It's boring. This box, in my opinion, for me, is just boring. It's got stuff I already have in my stash. There's stuff here that doesn't leap out me and say, oh, I'd want to buy meters upon meters of that. And it's old stock. So I am very disappointed. Now, I have been going back and forth as to whether I was going to cancel my subscription. First of all, if you are somebody who's a brand new quilter and you don't have much in your stash, you might want to subscribe either to the fat quarter box or the half meter box, whatever, to build up your stash. And that might be a problem for me. I have a huge stash of fabric. I've been quilting now for 5-6 years. You accumulate quite a bit of fabric. So maybe that's why this is not exciting me. Okay. I wasn't excited with how long it took to get it this time. They have changed their carriers for some reason. Before now, this came from some other carrier company and it was, fairly prompt. This time they went through Canada Post. And I'm not sure why they changed. Maybe the carrier company raised its price, although sending stuff by Canada Post is not cheap either. but it took over 2 weeks. Now, yes, there was a major holiday in between there, July 1st. So, okay, that would delay it as well. However, because of where I live, it also has to go through a distribution hub called Mississauga, or as like I like to refer to it, the black hole of Mississauga, because anything that goes there, you never know when it's going to come out or where it's going to come out. It's horrible. So that's not really their fault. The fault lies in that for some reason they've made a decision to change carriers. Okay. What else can I say? Well, you heard me say it. It's boring. So, yeah, for $66 each month, I could take that money and buy what I want for fabric. I gave it a fair shake. I gave it 7 months. Okay. But not anymore. I am canceling. Actually, I have already done so. I have canceled my subscription. And there will not be, I'll take down out of my show notes the 30% discount for first-time subscribers. I'm not supporting this company anymore. Now, customer service and that I didn't have any problem with. The owner who I've talked to before is a lovely person. And, you know, I have been told that their actual brick and mortar store, I've never been there, is great. But as far as subscription boxes are concerned, for me, it's not working out. So yeah, I'm not going to mean mouth them and say they're horrible or anything, because they're not. It just may be because I'm an experienced quilter and I have an awful lot of fabric already, so none of this is turning my crank. So yep, that'll be the last box from Sewers Club that I'll be reviewing for you. Sorry. Okay, moving on though, I do have some pictures of fabric to show you. You know that when I was in the East Coast, I went in Charlottetown to a really cool quilting store called Quilting Bee and More, and I saw this great gnome fabric, and I ordered it online from them, and I got it, and here it is. It is just too sweet. This is fun. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm keeping the collection that I bought all together because that's a panel you're seeing in the foreground. And I think I'll just build a really quick and simple quilt around that panel. And you can see that I bought some border fabric that goes with that and the other fabric as well. It all is part of the same line. Don't ask me what the line is called. I don't know. But I love it. It is just fun. And it's gnomes. So why can't you gotta love it. At least I do. Quilting Bee is in Charlottetown, as I said, but they're online. I did review their online store. Their prices are good. Shipping is great. And they have a really great selection. So if you're looking for something different, check out Quilting Bee. And you Americans out there still don't get the exchange rate business, okay? You get 30% off automatically. How does that happen? Because of the value of your dollar compared to the Canadian dollar. We pay 30% more for something if it's listed in American dollars. So for you, if you order something and say it was $30 Canadian, you don't pay $30 Canadian. You would pay 30% less than that. So 30% of $30 is $9. That means it would be $23 instead of $30. And the same goes with shipping because you're paying in American dollars. So you're getting 30% discount. Now, our fabrics are expensive, and, there are some places in the States where, you can get fabric at what we would consider in Canada, a ridiculously cheap price, even with the exchange rate. But, if you see something you like and you want to get it from Canada, then take 30% off that price and see if it's worthwhile or not. Now, do you have to pay duty when it comes across? Probably not. See, sometimes we get nailed with that, which is an extra tax, okay? You probably don't. So there are bargains to be had if you shop Canadian. So you might want to start by taking a look at Quilting Bee. All right. So we had a visit this weekend from one of my subscribers who has become a good friend as well. She was on her way back from vacationing out in the East Coast, and that's Dana. And I'm sure those of you that are regulars on any of the sew days that I have, Dana is usually there. And so you probably know who Dana is. Well, we had never met in person, only through Zoom. So we got a chance to meet. She came for dinner on Sunday night, and I decided to do a little mini session with Dana about what she bought when she was at the East Coast. So I'm going to insert that video here. It runs about 13 minutes long, okay? But she found some fabulous finds.
Okay, everybody, I told you that I had planned that Dana might make it for the live yesterday or on Sunday, and she did not because they hit traffic, which is not unusual in Ontario in the summer on a Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon. Everybody coming back from their cottages and other things. So Dana is fresh out of the East Coast. So Dana, how did you like the East Coast?
I have been to the East Coast once before, and I loved it so much that I really wanted to come back. I love PEI. I have friends there. I love Nova Scotia. I have friends there. And I just love the countryside, the scenery, the people, the shopping, fabric shopping. And I would love to be able to go to the East Coast more often.
So, best memory of the East Coast this trip?
Friends.
Okay.
People.
You have some?
I have a few now. I have a few more now, yes. Hi, Heidi.
Oh,
Heidi met us outside of Sussex near Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
And Lynn White met me in Prescott, Ontario earlier this afternoon. And other friends from when I worked in Calgary, I got to see them near Moncton. And my grandmother was born in Truro, so got a little more of meeting different people in Truro, who I thoroughly enjoyed. And New Brunswick is all trees. And the Quebec highway through Quebec is boring.
Oh, yes, it is. Very boring. So, what would you say would be your least favorite moment?
We had a Verbo property.
A Verbo property.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we were booked in for 4 nights. We left after the first night.
Oh, why?
So I get to talk to Verbo almost every day, telling them to accelerate my claim. I want my money back.
So
Not
what
all of
was bad about it?
The property owners were lovely. The location was easy to find, but the room was probably about the size of 8 by 10, 8 by 12.
No.
There were no windows. There was no flowing air. The only escape route was out through the garage.
Do you still have your liver? They didn't sell it, did they?
They did not sell it, and they didn't get, and what they are doing with the 3 areas of the small property, probably a good 100 ants.
Oh my goodness.
So we packed up and left the next morning.
And where was that?
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We were told when we were there by one of my subscribers, yeah, stay away from Dartmouth at night. He said, don't go there. Not a good place. So ants. So you had ants in your pants in Dartmouth. Okay.
I did so, yes. And I left them there and I moved on.
So overall, Did you buy any fabric?
Do birds fly?
Uh-huh.
You know, do ants show up in? No, never mind.
So what was your favorite quilting store? He's reaching for a fabric.
Oh, actually, that had.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Stephen sent me off to.
Quilting
Stephen
Bee?
and Walter went to the Quilting Bee when they were
Charlottetown.
in Charlottetown. And I can't.
Portsmouth, Maine.
I think this came from the quilt. Although I can't. Oh no, this came from Portsmouth, Maine.
Oh, Cafe Facet.
I've never bought Cafe before.
You never bought Cafe? Oh my God, we're taking back your quilting license.
I know. Well, now I have it, so you can't have my license because it will be a work in progress.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really nice. And in Portsmouth, they had a sale.
Ooh.
$5 a meter.
Okay, American
I'm sorry.
funds
I'm
though,
sorry.
right?
American $5, $5 per yard.
Per yard. Okay, so
Okay.
about $8 Canadian. That's still cheap.
Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Very
cheap.
cheap.
So when I was in Shakespeare, Ontario, visiting my sister before I started on my Atlantic tour.
Yay, old
I-
quilt store?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Been there. Love it.
Yes, I know. I've been there before because my sister is just outside of Shakespeare.
Mm.
And I found this.
Oh, sorry, it's not the Yay old quilt shop. The one you're talking about in Shakespeare's in a house.
Yes, it is.
I know which. I can't remember what that one's
The
called.
fabric shop.
Fabric shop. Okay.
Okay. Ye old fabric store is
It's
in
in Stratford.
Stratford.
Yeah.
So because my guild is making numerous placemats, I thought this would look really cute, each one being a placemat.
Mhm.
Okay? Well, when you look at the sides and you want to go and cut some more, you need extra, right?
Oh yes.
Right? Because half a bird just doesn't
Doesn't
work
work.
too well. But
I'll fold it.
in the great and wonderful
I'll fold it.
another one, I found this.
Ooh.
Here, I'll hold that. Oh, I was gonna.
Oh, thank
That'd
you,
make
Vanna.
That would make a nice shirt.
Yes, I bought it all. I'm sorry
Yeah,
there's
that's
none
nice.
left. Is that enough?
No.
So I thought perhaps adding this to that
That would
and a
look
few
nice.
more colors
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
very nice.
Yes, it will
Very
be
cute.
very nice.
So I was thinking of my guild as I traveled around.
Mm.
Well, guess what? Then I started thinking of me. Gee, surprise.
All about you. Yeah.
All about me.
All about you.
In, in Portsmouth, Maine, and my $5. Oh, that was $5. Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Bargain.
All right. So then, being a lover of butterflies,
Ooh.
ooh, this is 2 yards,
$10.
$10.
Wow.
$10. $10.
$10 American?
Yep.
Okay, so that's about what? $10. That's about $13 Canadian. That's good
For 2 meters.
for 2 meters.
2 yards.
2 yards.
And I will make a bag out of that.
Mm.
And then the leftover will be, I'm not sure yet, but it doesn't matter. It'll go in my stash. I have things to match it at home. And I can shop in my basement.
Shop your stash.
When, with my Bernina sewing machine, I heard about the Bernina medium clamp hoop.
Okay.
I had to get all the words right, okay? In beautiful Portsmouth, Maine, I got the deal of a century on one that one of the young girls had put away for me because I had called them to see if they had any. And what we would pay Canadian, $4.99 plus numerous taxes.
Mhm.
Maine does not have tax.
Oh.
And I got it for $262.36
American.
Ooh,
American.
American. So $5. Less than $5.
Less than $5. Yep. So that is in my suitcase. I am not bringing it out.
Yeah.
But of course, you wander around the store while you're there.
Of course.
All right. So when you have machine embroidery, there's some alignment stickers.
Oh yeah, I've never used those, but I've heard of them.
300 for only on sale $15.
Ooh.
Okay, so there's some alignment stickers.
Each spot last.
And when I also got to see
Oh, the sidekick bag
the
from by
sidekick
Annie.
bag, I had never seen that before. They had one there for show.
Hmm.
And I thought, I should get this. And I got 10% off the price of the,
Oh, even better.
oh, yeah. And because I have a Bernina, and you always run out of bobbins,
Oh, okay.
I had another $10 off coupon. So I think this came to about $26
Hmm.
for these, something like that.
But they're Bernina.
But they're
Ew.
Bernina. I know. The store I was in Canada, these were $73 Canadian.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Exactly.
I just rewind the pre-wound bobbin.
Yeah. Jeez.
But you can't on a Bernina.
No, I know, but I meant.
Oh, normally, yeah.
Yeah.
Janome ones.
Yes. Oh, yes. But you see, now that I have this book.
Ooh. Oh, I've seen that one somewhere.
Right,
I think I saw
somewhere.
it on YouTube. Somebody was
Maybe.
talking about that one.
Kim was talking about this. 'cause
That's
have
where I
it,
saw it.
And she has a video on it as well that she
Yeah.
did several years ago. Ask me how I know, because I asked her, but I haven't watched it yet. But this book has different types. If you have a log cabin block, a snowball, a bear's paw, a sawtooth star, courthouse steps, churn dash, a granny square, 8-pointed star, a 9-patch, a double X, a friendship star, or a Ohio star.
Mm.
There are designs for each and every one of them.
Mm.
So now that I have my clamp hoop, whatever,
Yeah.
I'll be able to find the embroidery designs, stick it on,
And away you go.
and away I go with
You
my
got
full
it.
bobbins of all different colors.
Well, you got it all. You did a nice job on the haul.
I did.
Wow. So I guess for
Is that all
you,
in your bag?
Yes, it was.
That back in?
I guess for you, that's the trip.
I didn't understand that.
I didn't speak to you. Sorry. Get out of my computer here.
Turtle stores are a good one too.
So you did a nice job. You bought, well, I bought a lot, but I bought it at the quilt show.
Yes.
I didn't buy the shops, but you went to a lot of places that, well, you went down to Maine. So might have to consider going to Maine someday.
Portsmouth is lovely.
Yeah,
New Hampshire.
it sounds like it.
And
No tax.
if you're
Yeah,
in
that best
Truro,
part.
anybody, try or go to Atlantic Fabrics.
Oh, they were at the show and I bought some of their stuff.
Nice stuff.
Yep, I did. I purchased from them. In fact, I purchased, you remember the quilt from Hell #2? And the panel that was supposed to be in that quilt, but I didn't have it and couldn't get it. They had it, finished the quilt, but I bought the panel anyways. But so, yeah, they were great. Well, so overall, you think you had a good time? I think you did.
I had a good time.
Well, that is great. Well, glad that you are. And so what are your plans now? When do you go fly back to Regina?
Tomorrow I go and stay with my mom, who is 96, in the Mississauga area. And I'm taking the late flight on Wednesday night, WestJet permitting.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get home Wednesday night, WestJet permitting. So I will not be joining
You won't be on-
and Stephen and Stephanie unless I log in from my mom's and say hi.
Well, you can always do that. Of course, there's always the pop-up sew day on the 15th.
Yes.
So-
Let me check my social calendar.
Yes.
I may get to see all of you then.
Well, we might be really filled up, but we'll make a special effort to squeeze you in. Okay, thanks, Dana, for showing us all that, because that was a wonderful haul.
Hi,
And-
everyone.
And you may not get out of my house with it. So that was really fun. We had a really nice evening. And I hope Dana has a safe trip home back to Regina. Okay, so that takes me to a demo this week. Yesterday I showed on my vlog a couple of 3D things that I've made, and I said on the vlog I'd show you how to use them. I found a zipper jig, which I have customized with some gnomes on it. Of course I would. And some tabletop hangers as well. And if you don't understand what I mean, here's a little demo showing you how I'm going to use these things.
So this is my latest 3D print design, and what is it, you may say? Well, you can see it's got my signature gnomes mounted on it, but it is a zipper jig. And a zipper jig, if you don't know what that is for these kind of zippers that basically come on a roll, or sometimes they just come in certain lengths, but they don't have the zipper end connected to it. So you can customize how long you want the zipper by cutting this off the roll and then putting this little thing on it, the zipper. What do you call it? The zipper clamp or whatever? The pole. And it is very fiddly trying to get this onto the zipper, but this makes life a lot easier. So what do? It's really easy and quite an ingenious design, and it isn't something I created. So what you do is you take the zipper pole and put the pole so that it's behind the zipper head, and the wide end where the two pieces go in to be pulled together fits down inside this slot, just like that. Okay, so you see, so the zipper pull part is behind here. So essentially this is the back side of the zipper pull. And then you just take your two pieces, and it's a little awkward on camera to show this, but you just feed them. Let me see if this is better. My hands are probably in the way, but you see you have these two strips here. You just feed one of these down one side into that zipper hole, the other one down to the other side. Just pull them down so they're snug. And then put your fingers on these two pieces here, just to hold them steady, and get your zipper started. Now, once you've got it started, you can pull it out of the jig, and then just pull your zipper through. Now, you may find that it's a little uneven, so you just open up your zipper. Let's flip it over so you can see this side. And there you go. Simple as that. And that's this little device right here. So I was really excited when I found this model. And as I said, I customized it by adding a couple of gnomes on either side just for cuteness factor. And it works really well. And so this is not something that I'm selling or anything like that, sorry. But it will become part of my collection of little gifts that when I meet up with a subscriber or whatever, I can give to them.
And here's another item I want to show you that I just printed with my 3D printer. In fact, these come in various sizes, but this is ingenious. Somebody created what's basically a hanger that'll hang off the side of almost any size of countertop or table or desk. Now this one, this is what it looks like. It's just a simple, very simple design. But the principle of this is this long part goes underneath your table, and it's designed in such a way that the hook at the top just takes on the weight and keeps it in place on your counter. So here, in this case of this counter, right there, they're pretty strong. I'm putting quite a bit of force on that. They're very strong. It doesn't slip off that easily. And as I said, they come in various sizes. I'm printing out the other sizes as we speak for various thicknesses of table edges. So you could hang your purse on this if you're at a retreat. You could hang a scrap bag or a thread bag on this at a retreat, a garbage bag, whatever. It's got endless possibilities. So I'm going to make more of these in the various sizes and maybe put it together like a little kit.
So I'm making a bunch of those hangers and a bunch of those zipper jigs, and they will be gifts for some people, lucky people, at Christmas time. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, subscribers quilt of the week. This comes from Elsie Torochi. I'm not sure if I'm saying Elsie's last name correctly, but she sent me a picture of a very beautiful creation.
This week's quilts come from a subscriber, and her name is Elsie Turoci. I'm not sure if I'm saying Elsie's last name correctly. It's Turoci. Sorry about that, Elsie. But Elsie writes, I watched your YouTube video today requesting our sharing of finished projects to show. Attached are some pictures of making my very first complicated quilt ever from one of Donna Jordan's free patterns. I struggled not to be confused, but those HSTs drove me nuts, and I was happy to have it finished. So let's just take a look at this. You may have struggled, Elsie, but this turned out fantastic. Look at that. That is beautiful. And I'm assuming this picture is when you're laying it out to base the layers. But that is a gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. And for someone who said she found it complicated and was struggling with the half square triangles, I think you did a beautiful job. Your points are exact, and the quilt is just really stunning. So thank you, Elsie, for sharing that with us.
Now, keeping in line with demos, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches in the past week put up a very good and informative video on her channel, and I want to share that with you. And it's all about trimming HSTs, half square triangles.
This week's YouTube video of the week comes from my friend Stephanie at Stephanie Stitches, and I think this is a very good video explaining the different methods you can use for squaring up half square triangles. Stephanie takes you through 3 different methods, and they each use 3 different rulers. And all of them work equally as well, so I guess it just depends on your comfort zone and what you like best. But it's nice to have a choice, and Stephanie definitely and coherently presents these 3 methods. So if you struggle with trimming up HSTs, then do be sure to check out Stephanie's video.
Now, I showed you the Tome quilt I'm working on, the little gnome or elf or whatever you want to call him. I call him a gnome. And I want to talk a little bit about the quilt pattern. Well, here's my little review of that quilt pattern.
This week's future project is called the Tom T quilt pattern. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but of course what appealed to me was, look, it's a gnome. And this was sent to me, the link for this pattern was sent to me by one of my subscribers. It was sent by Derek Scott. And I find this very fascinating because this particular lady who designs this has a website that you can go to, and it'll be in the show notes below, called Rope and Anchor Trading Company. And this is where I bought the pattern, and she has many more. But what makes her patterns really unique is they're all made up of basically squares of fabric and half square triangles. And it takes a lot, but it looks really cool. Oops, I just went out. Well, here's an example of some of her other patterns that you can get as well. But let's go back to the Tom T. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun to do. It is small bits, but because they're all squares and half square triangles, I don't think it'll be that difficult to do. It does measure 40 by 60 inches, and you could do this in any colors that you like. She calls it seasonal, but I think if you did it in Christmas colors, it would look great for Christmas. If you did it in spring colors, it would look great for spring, etc. So I think it's very versatile, and it was not very expensive. You can see that it's in pounds here, 10 pounds, and I think that worked out to about $16 Canadian. So I'm itching to get at this one as well, and maybe soon.
And if you're interested in getting that quilt pattern or any of the other patterns by that designer, then I've put the link to it in the show notes below. Okay, so I do have an interview that's going to go live today, Tuesday, July the 11th, and it's with Robert Bogaert of Quilting in the Loft. Robin runs a business. She is Canadian, and I met her at my meet and greet in Halifax. She came along with one of her friends, And it was nice to meet her. She is a Bernina ambassador as well. Hiss. Not really. Um, and yeah, we had a really nice time at the meet and greet, and we talked some more at the actual quilt show as well. And so I have interviewed her. So here is a little teaser for that interview. Get started. Well, you said you were taught by a great grandmother at the age of 4, but then you said
Yeah.
you got more formally into it in the late 90s. So what inspired you to to at that
A
level?
whole lot of things, really. I've been a very consummate crafter for years and years and years. Kind of didn't play with toys. I kind of crafted more than anything. Um, and I had a grandmother who was very influential with that. She would always want me to glue things or decoupage or sit and watch her sew or work with beads. And so I've always been more interested in crafting than playing. And I
Sure.
guess craft is now a form of play for me and for a lot of people that are crafters, right? So, yeah. And then in grade 8, I had an elective in high school. And I know that a lot of the high schools now aren't offering that kind of thing, but it really helped me because it was an elective on quilting. And right away I was drawn to it because I had that 4-year-old background and influence from grandparents that talked about quilting all the time.
So I hope you'll check Robin's interview out, and also go off and check out her social her links as well. Okay, that takes me to the online quilt store of the week. This is one that comes from out east, St. Andrews, New Brunswick. It's called the Wee Fabric Shop. I do believe they were at the quilt show as well, but I did not get an opportunity to actually visit their brick and mortar store while I was out in the East Coast. But here's my review of the Wee Fabric Shop. This week's online quilt store is called the Wee Fabric Shop, and they were at the Canadian Quilt Show as well, but I thought I'd take a look at their online store. Some beautiful pictures right off the bat on their first page of where they are located. They're located facing out to the water. They're in New Brunswick, St. Andrews, New Brunswick. Looks like they have a great looking classroom, and yeah, and a nice store by the looks of just these pictures. Let's just go down on the first page, and they have their hours of operation, which is interesting. They're open 7 days a week, and that's what it says, 7 days a week. They're behind the Red Herring Pub as well. Okay, so shop and have a little drink and lunch as well. So they have new arrivals, all fabric, notion. So let's take a look at all their fabric and see what we have here, and look at it at what price it is. Oh my goodness. Now, unless this is clearance, maybe that is clearance. $10.99 a meter. Oh no, they have other prices here. $31.99 a meter, $17.99 a meter. Okay. Prices seem to vary. So let's explore this a little further. Oh, these are nice. This wave texture. I've not seen those before. $15.99 a meter. That's pretty good. That is very good, actually, as a price. $19.99 a meter. So I guess it really depends on what it is that you see here that you like, because the prices vary from about $10.99 right up to $19.99. It's $19.99 the most expensive? It looks like it might be. Well, that is still pretty good, and they've got a lot of pages, 14 pages of fabric. Let's go to the last page and see what we have here. Oh, $20.99, $24.99. Oh, but that's chambray. That's not quilting cotton. So yeah, that would be more expensive. Ooh, they've got some gnomes, timeless treasure gnomes. And yeah, they have a really good selection of fabrics, and the prices are very reasonable. Now that of course suggests what do they charge for shipping. Let's see if there's anything about shipping down here at the bottom of their page. Not finding anything here, but maybe if we go back to the top, maybe in their main menu, there's something. More? Nope. Well, we'll come back to that, but let's just take a look at what else they have to offer. So shop all items. They have sales and clearance. So they have a sort of a mishmash of all kinds of things. Lots of feet for sewing machines. Okay. New arrivals, the social studio. Okay, nothing on that page. New arrivals. Oh, they've got the Art East patterns. And bobbin 3-in-1 needle puller. Oh, boheen. Sorry, boheen. Okay. Rulers and some more fabric. Okay. They do cross stitch and embroidery. You just hit fabric, all fabric, shop by category. I didn't check that out. Let's see, shop by category. So apparel, so they have apparel fabrics, batiks. What are the prices on batiks? $18.99 a meter. That's still not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's go back. They have blenders, Canadian. Let's see what they have in Canadian. $16.99 a meter, $15.99 a meter. That's pretty good. Oh, they've got O Canada 11. That's the new fabric from Northcott. Okay. Not a lot to choose from, but some interesting things. Children, Christmas and winter. Let's take a look at Christmas and winter. Some kits. And yeah, I think not a lot in Christmas fabric, maybe more coming. It's still early, but there's some good stuff. $18.99 a meter seems to be the going price for Christmas. It is a specialty fabric. Cuddles and furs, dots, felts and walls, flannel, floral, fall and Halloween. Oh, those are kind of nice with the pumpkins. Haven't seen those before. Some of these I have seen. Not a great selection, but you know, Halloween fabric is a specialty. And again, they might be getting more in. And they have home decor and canvas kits. What do they have to offer in kits? Just Art East Puffin Star kit. So yeah, not a lot there to choose from. They have linen, muslin, nautical, panels and cheaters, pets, plaids, pre-cuts and fat quarters. Let's go to the pre-cuts and fat quarters. And prices are what you could expect. The Halloween fat quarter of Batman. Well, they don't have a bad selection here at all. Actually, they have a fair amount of fat quarter bundles and some jelly rolls, some charm packs. Actually, pretty good selection, and prices are pretty standard. So they're in that middle ground. Okay. Solid stripes, tea towel, Valentine's, wide backings. Okay, let's check out the wide backings. I'm always looking for wide backings. They're interesting. Ooh, $29.99 a meter, $31.99, $32.99. Expensive on the higher side, but that's about what you're going to be paying for it almost anywhere. So, and not a bad selection. Some ones that I have not seen before. So, what else do they have? They do have workshops. Nope, they don't at the moment. So maybe later on. Sale clearance fabric, notions. the usual kinds of things. Cross stitch and embroidery, as I mentioned before. Gifts. What are they having? Gifts. Okay. A few novelty kind of things there as well. And it looks like they have gift cards, I'm sure. Or maybe not. I don't know. More. Machines, yarn. Oh, yeah, you can buy gift cards. And they have yarn as well. And machines. What do they sell for machines? Brother. Accessories. They have Janome needles. So it looks like they do sell Janome machines. Yeah, so they're a Janome dealer. Okay. And that's a good price on a replacement bobbin case. I just bought one at $40. They're selling it for $29.99. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, they have another one for $42.99. Have to check to see what brand or what machines those fit in. So, yeah. Okay. So the one thing I haven't been able to discover is what their shipping is. So let's see, shop all items again. Anything here about shipping? How to get it? Maybe that's it. Pick up shipping. Okay. So are they going to tell us what the price is for shipping? Apparently not. I guess that might be something that's figured out when you buy. Okay, let's buy something. We're going to get some of this. I want it shipped. Oh, shipping and returns. Oh, here we go. Within New Brunswick, it's a $20 flat rate shipping. Canada, $25 to $30 flat rate shipping. US, $25 to $30. Okay, so it doesn't look like they have free shipping over a certain amount. So it's flat rate though, so the more you buy, the better that price looks, $25 to $30. That's not horrible. I mean, usually if I buy online, I'm going to be buying probably a couple $100 worth of stuff. So another $25 to $30, that's not unreasonable. So anyways, what more can I say about the Wee Fabric Shop? Gorgeous location. Looks like a neat shop. I'm sorry that I didn't go to St. Andrews in New Brunswick when I was there to check it out, but I may check them out further because there may be some stuff here I would like to buy. So that's the Wee Fabric Shop. So that brings me pretty much to the end of the episode. Just a couple of reminders. Of course, Pop-Up Sew Day, Stephen's Birthday Bash, this coming Saturday, July the 15th, 2023, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Links in the show notes. And just something else. I don't like doing this, but Walter insists that I should do this. And other people do it too. If you are a regular viewer here, or even a first-time viewer, please hit the subscribe button. It does help. It really does. Okay. Yeah, I know everybody says that. It really helps the channel, but I have discovered that whatever way that YouTube does the algorithms for moving videos up so they're easier to find, yeah, hitting the subscribe button really helps. So does the thumbs up button. And so does if you write a comment as well. Just a word about the comments. I do not necessarily answer directly all comments unless it's a direct question, then I try to. But what I do now is I go through all of the comments for a week, and and I will organize them such that I want to address whatever's been in the comments. So we do that now on So Chatty sometimes, depending on how many comments we have, and sometimes we do it on Stephen and Walter Live as well. So yeah, so I do see all the comments. I do read them all. So yeah, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, I hope you have a great week, And we'll see you later in the week for So Chatty. We'll see you maybe tomorrow, some of you, for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. And I hope to see you on Saturday as well. Busy week. Okay, have a good one. Bye for now.